2, 1. Good evening, good evening. This is Dr. King, and tonight we are going to be discussing journaling. Let me get you the poll everywhere link because we have a poll everywhere question, and you can go ahead and answer that if you want to. Good evening, Sister Thompson. Do me a favor, type your name in the chat box for me, please. I'm taking attendance. Let me post the poll everywhere link for you. Now, everybody should be able to see all of those links. If you can't, I just posted the poll everywhere link and the post-event survey link. That's pretty much all. But if you can't see both of them, let me know. I posted them twice so that we can see them. And if anybody else joins in, do me a favor, one of you, and just copy and paste the links for me so we can get going. Tonight, we're going to be discussing journaling, which is really just a big word for writing in a diary for adults. But I think it's a really good topic to address. So without further ado, let's get started. It's pretty cool tonight. I'm cold. What about you, ladies? Let me move some stuff around here so I can see. All right, there we go. Journaling. It amazes me when stuff pops up. I have to move my little boxes that you ladies can't see. All right. All right, and I have actually redone my introduction page. It's myself. I am Dr. Bridget King. I got tired of looking at the same things every week. It's pretty much still the same thing, but I've reworded some things. So who is Dr. King? I am a 34-year resident of Duncanville, Texas. I have lived in the 800 Link community for 18 years, and I am a wife and a mother. And I'm also a resident professional here at 800 Link, specifically a resident educator. My job is to present the 800 Link community residents, all the TI communities residents, as well as just anybody in general, to educational topics that span anything. You know, as long as it's in the education realm, I will discuss it. Good evening, Sheila. Do me a favor and type your name in the chat box for me. And somebody get Sheila those links, please. And so how did I become Dr. King? Me talking about degrees, I've talked about where I was educated. So high school, I attended Duncanville High School, received my associate's degree from El Centro College here in Dallas. Also worked on my bachelor's at the University of Texas of the Permian Basin. I received a BA in psychology. Started to go to grad school back in early 2000s, and I attended the University of Phoenix and worked on my Master of Arts in Organizational Management. And then just 2 years ago in 2018, well, I started in 2016, I enrolled into North Central University and worked on and completed my education doctorate in sports management. Excuse me, y'all, my throat, I'm not getting sick, but my throat's not liking this air. And so that's how I became Dr. King. And then what have I done with my life? Not just since I've become Dr. King, but from graduation from high school, what have I done? So in 25 years, I've worked in corporate America in various industries, various companies, legal industry, tech support. I've done some of everything. Food, restaurant, hospitality, I've done it all. 12 years working in higher education, teaching classes such as Introduction to Organizational Behavior, Human Resources Management, 21st Century Leadership and Beyond, Introduction to Sociology. I've taught cultural diversity, Introduction to Business Law and Ethics, as well as Managing People for Performance. Those are just a few of the 30 classes that I was coded to teach at the 3 universities that I've worked at. But those are some of the most interesting classes I've taught. That's why I have those listed. Teaching those classes were some of the best fun I've had, you know, as an educator. You learn some things when you're teaching people how to do, become leaders and things like that, and learn how to, be around other people, and stuff like that. But I've always taken professional development courses of some kind. To date, I have over 300 courses taken. It's probably why my curriculum vitae is 35 pages long. I am a 12-year grassroots girls basketball program owner and coach for the Lady Panthers Girls Basketball Association, which we are now a National Youth Sports Strategy Champion program, which is a federal program that was just started this past September. And we are also a USA Basketball Accredited program, which we've actually been since 2015 year, been an accredited program with USA Basketball. I've been a 12-year parent volunteer for Duncanville ISD for every school that my daughter has attended, and served as president and vice president of PTA within Duncanville ISD. And then I've served in various sports leagues in different roles in different sports leagues in the Metroplex. Somebody asked me to do it, I will. I like the training. And so who does this presentation focus on? Or excuse me, TI Communities Pillars. I did move my little box around to read my title. What TI Communities Pillars does this presentation focus on? As always, education, but we have a new one tonight. We're also focusing, and then community building, because the way I see it, improve on education, you improve on the community. And then health and wellness is one of the topics that we're gonna touch on tonight with journaling. And then who does this presentation benefit? This presentation is for anyone who wants to learn to journal and understand how journaling can help put life into perspective, as well as help with mental health issues such as depression, stress, and anxiety. And this is actually not a long presentation tonight. It's informative, but it's not long. And so I've seen couple of answers. Is this a couple of answers? Do you currently journal? I have some that say no, and then some that say I have in the past. Sheila, did you get to answer the question on whether or not you've journaled? I have actually, I'm actually journaling now, but I actually have in the past as well. My mother used to buy me diaries as a little girl. I don't never know what happened to those diaries. I wonder what happened to them. But I've been journaling since, I've been journaling since I was a kid, and back then it was called writing in a diary. But as an adult, I've started to journal again as well, because you never know, you just put your thoughts down on. Sometimes you have to, get clear with your own self and get your thoughts down in writing. So I've been journaling as long as I can remember, to be honest. I know since I was about 9 or 10 years old. Excuse me, y'all. So what is journaling? Journaling is a way to write down one's feelings and thoughts, as well as a way to gain control of one's emotions and improve on one's mental health. Technical definition, layman's definition, journaling is the same thing as writing in a diary. As children, many keep diaries to write down their thoughts. As adults, journaling is an adult diary. So basically, journaling and diaries are the same thing. And both men and women can journal. There is, there is nothing wrong with either or journaling. Some of your most prominent people that have, lived on this world, on this earth, have journaled, male and female. So why journal? You journal to write down one's thoughts and opinions, one with yours. You journal to write down your thoughts and opinions. You can journal to write down your goals, short-term goals, medium-term goals. Short-term goals are goals that go from like hours to maybe weeks. Medium-term goals go from weeks to months, and then long-term goals, those are your years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And as everybody says, nobody saw themselves going through a pandemic. So that kind of blew everybody's goals up this year. But once again, there's nothing but change. You learn to adapt. But journaling also helps you prioritize your fears and your problems and concerns. And that's anything, not just, I can't even be specific there, because there's no one way to journal. So you can write down whatever you want, but it is a way to prioritize your fears, your problems, and your concerns. Tracking symptoms and emotional triggers, especially those that deal with depression and anxiety. It's a way for them to write down, remember I talked about with the emotional intelligence, we talked about emotional triggers. And those are things that when those are things that are going to rile you up and make you act a certain way. When you see those coming, you already have a response basically saved up. stored up mentally on how you react and things like that. Journaling helps you do that. It helps you determine what your emotional triggers are ways, and then it's a way to express positive self-talk and identifying negative thoughts and behaviors. One of the best things you can ever do to improve your self-confidence and your self-esteem is learn to intrinsically hype yourself up, become your own hype woman or hype man. Positively talk to yourself and talk positive to yourself more than you do negative. And when you learn to do that, you learn that you don't need anybody else. You don't need a crew to be your hype person. You become your own hype person. Then you can use journaling to manage anxiety. Write down how you're feeling. How do certain things make you feel when they happen? About how, basically it's about writing down your emotions and your thoughts. How do you feel about something? How do people make you feel? Things like that. Reducing stress, same thing. When you're in a stressful situation, write that down. What happened? When did it happen? Who was involved? What caused it to stress you out? Like I said, there's no one way to journal, and that's why you're not going to see me give you a template on what you need to do to start journaling, because that's not what this is about. Just sitting down and writing is journaling. And then coping with depression, same thing. You start to feel depressed, sit down and write those feelings out, write those thoughts out, and then you'll start to track the symptoms, figure out what your emotional triggers are as to why depression comes on, and then exploring your own self. Sometimes you just want to sit down and write and figure out what's going on up here with you. And that helps you, for some, it helps them create their goals. It helps them figure out where their fears and their problems and their concerns are. All of this stuff works together. So when you start to journal, you start to learn who you are, not, peeling away, like they say with an onion, peeling away the layers. When you journal, you peel away the layers of yourself and you learn who you are. And then that all leads to helping have a better quality of life. That's the whole point. Everybody wants to have a good quality of life. And that's what journaling does. And so what do you need to start journaling? Simple. Supplies. You need paper and a writing instrument. Or a computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Have a journal book. So these are 3 that I have so far. I've gotten some of these as graduation presents and I bought them, but this is one journal book. Let's see if you ladies can see it. That's one book I have. And then I've been given this one. And then I have these. You can get these at the grocery store for like $2 or $3, but I'm not sure. These were given to me as presents, so I'm not sure where these were purchased at. But journal books, you can take a stack of notebook paper and staple it together and use it as a journal book. You can take a binder, you can do anything, get a spiral, just something where you can keep your thoughts together. Hey, Makia. Somebody send Makia the links for me, please. But that's all you need to start journaling. Some type of paper and some type of writing instrument. Pen, pencil, crayon, map color. It doesn't matter. Eyeliner, pencil. It doesn't matter. Just paper and something to write with. Or I've actually started at some point. I used to write everything out in a Word document, Microsoft Word. So a computer, a laptop, a tablet, a smartphone. You can use Microsoft Word. If you have a cell phone, like iPhones have iPhone notes, all of those things can be used to journal with, just to write your thoughts down. And when do you want to journal? Journal daily. Don't journal once or twice a week. Now, we will have some kind of, some type of protocol there. You want to journal daily because you want to be able to go back and read and see, when you're journaling regularly, you can go back and see how things go, what built up to certain responses and reactions happening, during certain things. So you want to journal daily and keep your journal with you at all times. Keep it in the car. I don't keep mine with me because I'm pretty good about writing at night before I go to bed. And there are some times where I'll have a thought in my head and while I'm asleep and I'll wake up from a sleep and I have to get my thoughts down, because if I try to remember it in the morning, that's like remembering a dream I had the night before, not happening. So sometimes I will get a thought while I'm asleep if I'm not sleeping that hard. Now, if I'm a deep sleep, forget that. But If I'm not sleeping hard, I have a thought, especially during basketball season. I never slept during basketball season when I was coaching because I always wanted to do something. So I had to get up and write it'd be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I wake up and turn a light on and I'm writing down. So keep your journal with you, how you see fit, to write down your thoughts and your emotions, how you see fit. And then write what you want when you want. Nobody can tell you how to journal and what you're supposed to write. You write what you want when you want. I just ask that when you do it, that if you go back and read it, you understand what you wrote. Don't write in shorthand unless you understand your own shorthand. Don't write in chicken scratch unless you can read your own chicken scratch. But write what you want when you want. I just ask that you journal daily, because when you go back and read, you'll go back and be able to see patterns. When things happen, you can see patterns, see your triggers, any symptoms, things like that. And like I said, there is no right or wrong way to journal. So you're not going to see me have a template here telling you what you need to do to journal. Just get you a pen and paper, sit down and write. And you can write morning, evening, night, at lunch, whenever you want to. Like I said, you not like me, I don't keep my journal book with me all the time. I just know that I have a certain time every day that I will sit down and write and things like that. And so, like I said, men and women journaled. And so some of the notable famous people who journal or have journaled when they were alive, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is a big journaler. If you follow Oprah, she talks about that all the time. Yeah. There's a whole website on Oprah and her journals. Oscar Wilde, a lot of writers on here. Albert Einstein, scientists, Marie Curie, scientists. What, Marie Curie a scientist? I think she was. Queen, John Quincy Adams, president. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, Martina Navratilova, tennis star. Marco Polo, Maya Angelou. Ludwig van Beethoven was a journaler. Charles Darwin, Mark Twain, Lewis and Clark. Thomas Edison, artist Frida Kahlo, famous Mexican artist. Virginia Woolf, Ben Franklin, and Leonardo da Vinci are all notable famous people who have come out and publicly spoken about them journaling. I'm sure there are several more people who journal, but these are the ones, like if you Google famous journalists, these names are going to pop up on every website that you go to. I know, I researched. And so, like I said, there are probably way more. This list could probably span 15, 20 different pages of people that actually, these are most famous people that journal. And if you go back and read why they do it, they pretty much all say the same thing. It helps them clear their minds. Journaling is a way of clearing your brain. And so, like I said, this wasn't going to be a long presentation night. So to recap, journaling is the same as keeping a diary. It can be used to write down thoughts and emotions and help to control emotions as well as goals and to explore oneself. And journaling can be started with either a pen and paper or a computer or smartphone. And there's no right or wrong way to journal. Just do it. And make sure that you journal daily to keep a detailed record of your thoughts. And journaling helps, like I said, if you're somebody that suffers with depression and stress and anxiety, journaling is a really good way of getting your thoughts down and helping you understand why certain things happen and your emotional triggers to help you, spot them when they're coming, or you can feel them when they're coming and you know how to respond. But I mean, that works for anybody. You don't have to have any type of issues going on to journal. You can journal just because you want to. Like I said, kids journal all the time just because they can. So why can't adults? So journaling is just a way to clear your mind, come up with ideas, innovations, just do it. I love it. It's a way, sometimes your brain is just going, and I can't sleep because my brain won't shut down. Yeah, that's a good time to journal, good time to pray as well, but a good time to journal and get those thoughts down on paper so you can rest. And then, like I say, I did plenty of research to do this. It took me longer to reference this than research this than it actually did for me to do the presentation tonight. But that's fine. I want to give you all the best of me. But does anybody have any questions on anything? And I like the fact, sometimes I get mad because y'all don't ask me questions, but then I'm like, well, maybe I'm giving a good presentation. Or did somebody fall asleep? Mhm. So there are no questions, or if you do, put them in the chat box and I'll see them. Next Thursday, kind of in line with journaling, we will be focusing on your life's narrative. How can you take that journal and really just take yourself, and what do you want your life's narrative? What is your life story? That's pretty much what a narrative is. A narrative is nothing but a big way to say a story. What is your life story? How do you want it to read? There are some things that you can do. Religious people would tell you the Lord already has a purpose for your life. That is true. But in so doing, he also allows you to take your own calculated steps. So focusing on your life's narrative, that's going to be next Thursday, December 10th at 7 p.m. right here on Zoom. And I'll send y'all the information on that if I already have it. I think I have, but I'll do it again so it doesn't get lost in the email. And so I just want to say, enjoy your time journaling. And if anybody has any questions for me, always know how to contact me. Email me at 800educatorbridget@ticommunities.com, or on Facebook, facebook.com, Dr. Bridget M. King, EDD. Call me, text me, smoke signals, whatever. You know how to find me if you need me. And that is, let's stop screen sharing. There we go. We had a good one. And ladies, y'all let me forget to take my picture last week, and I had to figure out how to take my screenshot. So let me make sure I do this now, because I definitely forgot, and they definitely audit our reports. I have to submit a report after every program. So I had forgotten to take my picture last week, and they definitely reminded me. But I want to thank you ladies for coming. Thanks for coming, Makia. Sister Thompson, we've missed you. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Sierra. I've been doing some short ones the last few weeks. Next week, maybe a little bit longer. But, it's the holidays. I don't want to keep y'all long. But, it's just that. It's the holidays. It's a lot going on, with school and everything with the kids. But I want to thank you all for coming. See you all next Thursday. Hope you all come. If you want to, you can invite other people. I love you, but you can always invite other people. And like I said, I'm going to always post a recorded one. And, more people seem to watch the recorded one, which is fine for me, with me at all. I get credit for it all. But thank you, ladies, for coming. That was a 20-minute presentation. Awesome. I will see you all next Thursday. Love you and good evening.